Okay, hello everyone. This is Prosper Michael from Prime Media Studio. Yeah, we're here again to talk about the current issues in the country. And right here with me, by my right and your left, you can see Mr. Christopher. Actually, he's one of the LP. No, he's going to introduce himself personally. But today he will be talking about some salient issues in the country, what is going on after the election. I know a lot of the youths they have high spirit, high hopes. They still believe that things will be better, and a lot of court cases here and there. But first of all, let me start with Mr. Christopher. Mr. Chris, how are you doing?
It's nice to be here. Good afternoon.
Okay, let me help you with your microphone. Then you come closer so that the mic will be more audible, so our viewer can hear you, see and hear you better.
Good afternoon, viewers. My name is Christopher Okoyomo. I'm a member of one of the Peter Obi's volunteers force. We're known as Super Volunteers for Peter Obi, where we, as we can all see, how the election has been so far. The election has been marred with a lot of irregularities here and there, and it's a very sad situation that in times like this we are yet to get things right, and we actually pride ourselves as the giant of Africa. It's a shame. We are not really. This is not what we expect, and we can actually do better.
Okay, Christopher, let me cut you a little bit. And let me just bring in this. I know the 2023 general election, that is the 25th, the presidential election. We knew that almost everybody were in high hope. The spirit was high. Almost the whole youth troop out to vote that day. And do you believe that the people that came out that day, just compare the general election, the presidential election, to the governorship election? How was the turnout?
Okay, well, with what we saw, it was very obvious to everyone. On the 25th of February, which is the general election, a lot of young persons were, filled with hope that, okay, this day we are going to elect the president of our choice, the right candidate. This is the right time for us to get it right this time around. As it turned out,
okay.
The outcome of the 25th of February election was really disappointing, and that actually led to a very unpleasant situation in the gubernatorial election, because a lot of young persons they got discouraged because of the
outcome of the general election,
outcome of the
presidential election.
So,
But on that, the outcome. Okay, you're telling me now the outcome of the presidential election. Though people still have some belief that it wasn't how it should be, you still believe that it's better than that of governorship election. The outcome, the people that came out that day.
Well, in terms of the turnout was more impressive in the general election. We saw maximum turnout because we're judging from, if we are being logical about the whole thing, I can tell you 2023 general election has the highest number of turnout in the history of elections in this country. I'm not talking about statistics. I'm talking about the reality of things that was on ground on that day. We could feel it. But let's forget whatever INEC gave us on that day, which does not really represent the actual situation of things on that day.
There was one video clip that is traded. Somebody was saying that after election, even during the eve of governorship election, people were still counting the presidential election, still signing the ECB and all that. I saw a lot of people lined up.
Yes, I think I saw the footage of that video, but I couldn't really authenticate it to know how.
But if that's the case, if it's a truth, that's true. How can you be still collating result and you already announce a winner of election?
Well, to be honest with you, if we are to be honest with ourselves, we know that the credibility of INEC is under question. So we shouldn't, we shouldn't shy away from the fact that the process wasn't really credible, and that is why you see our principal, Peter Gregory B, said that he was going to challenge the process that actually brought about the announcement of Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu as the winner of the election. So I think I actually reasoned with him when he said that he's not challenging any other thing, but he's challenging the process as well as the declaration of the results, because we saw from the onset INEC promised. This is not just about promising. They said it. They stated it categorically. When then we saw INEC chairman at the Chatham House in the UK, where he actually made the announcement to the whole world that the beavers will be deployed, and results are going to be transmitted from the polling unit to the IREV, the INEC portal. So, why change the game? I mean, why change the rules of the game in the middle of the game, which is quite unacceptable? Nobody will accept that in a sane society. So let's be honest with ourselves.
Well, Christopher, okay. But the court actually give the INEC the prerogative, the right to choose whatever mix of coalition they can adopt.
That is before the election. And INEC has already assured us that, okay, the results are going to be transmitted, and they have given us the hope that all logistics have been put in place, that can actually bring about the seamless transmission of the results from the polling unit to the IREV portal. So I think if there was any unforeseen event, after then, what is wise for them to do would be to discontinue the process, probably cancel the election.
When you're talking about discontinue the process, let's talk about the governorship. We saw all manners of violence in different quarters, especially in Lagos State. I think that is not enough for INEC to kind of make it inconclusive or something, or to cancel some part of the LGA, just to be able to forestall or be able to assure people that they actually do their best in this election.
That is actually our main concern, because we saw INEC, the body language of INEC was actually questionable on that day, because we know that these are actually the right steps to take, to actually get things done, to actually improve the trust of the people on INEC's credibility. But, what we saw that the reverse was the case. They went on with the elections, and which actually, give rise to a lot of unrest in the states. We also have similar cases in states like River State. But like what we saw in Lagos on that day, that wasn't an election. It was war. It was a battlefield. A lot of persons were injured, and some lives were actually lost. We can't deny that fact. So, to me, I think INEC has not really been non-partisan. They have not been independent enough. It's as if INEC actually took side in this election. So, we expect better from INEC. It was really disappointing.
When you talk about violence, I wanted to show one clip I saw where a lot of people were actually treated very unfair. I think there's one particular clip in Shawete area where one of the guys was brutally, seriously injured,
yes,
and he was just bleeding profusely. I don't know if he was later taken to the hospital or he was left to his fate. I can't lay my hand on that right now, but if I lay my hand, I'm going to play it. It was a gory clip. I think this should be the clip. I just want to play it so people can see what we're talking about. This is really not really. It's not acceptable. This is not what we want. What people really expect in an election. where some people will be brutalized and injured, and
sorry, sorry to interrupt you. There's one thing our leaders fail to realize is that leadership is all about performance. If you have any palpable work on ground, if you have performed excellently well, you will not have to go through rigorous process to get re-election, to get your second term. So it's your work that will speak for you. Okay.
And this is what we actually look at him. Yes. The guy was speaking. I say he was badly beaten. He was injured. Okay, let's hear him.
Meet me and say, why they vote for me? Why they vote for Labour Party? They want me that. All of them gathering and snapping me. Are you hearing that? All of them are gathering and snapping me. This one happened to Sabotedo. When we say close and I'm your guardian, I carry 2 by 2. Then now they say they vote for Labour Party.
So you see, this is the image is so gory, and that's my day.
It's really appalling.
It's not really. This is not what we want. This is not what our election should be. I expect INEC to kind of cancel this particular unit because of this.
Yes.
And we can't. But the result has been declared.
And all these are in the constitution of INEC.
That when the thing like this happen,
that such polling units should be cancelled. But
But yet, nothing has been done about this, and the result has been declared in this area, and the winner has emerged.
It's really bad. It's really bad. Really, really bad.
So
I must say that,
and in some places, a place like this, you see also this looks like a stage, like a movie, as if it was staged. The stealing of the papers, the election. Edo State. So this happened at Edo State. It looks like, if you look at that clip again, it looks like a stage. If you look at how the official that was scanning the paper, look at her body language, and as if you just hand over, take and go.
Planned.
So
it was planned.
You can see that, and this area, we expect this election should be cancelled in this area, and there should be a rerun and properly manned, and to forestall all this event. And we also saw where some people have to fight back when talks came to invade the environment. They had to fight back with the use of dogs and all that. I'm not too sure where this happened, but I was told one of the estates.
Yes, that's true. I thought it happened in somewhere at a place called Agor Palace.
Oh, Agor.
Lagos, yes.
Agor Palace.
Yeah. In a situation whereby, though I'm not an advocate of violence, but in a situation whereby the citizens, there is no security for them, and they are left with no choice to defend themselves. So, in a situation like this, the right thing for them to do is for them to arm themselves and defend themselves. So, self-defense is not a crime.
I'm sure you mean they should defend themselves.
Yeah,
Chris is not asked to go and carry AK-47. No, I'm sure government will not give you AK-47.
No.
What is saying that you see what those guys were doing? Some of them, they actually carry all manners of sticks just to defend themselves. That's what I don't think there's anything wrong with anyone defending his or her self in a situation whereby your life is being a
danger.
It's in danger. So I think that was what they did. Some of them went home and brought out their dogs to be able to defend themselves, and they did well. They were able to overwhelm the thugs, especially on this particular clip.
Yes,
look, you see that guy,
and one of the thugs were actually gunned down by the police.
Was he gunned down, or they used a stick to kind of? You can see that's what we're talking about right now. He hit the policeman anyway.
Yeah. And from the footage, it was the policeman that shot one of the thugs. As you can see, that was one that was person that was brought down. You can see.
Okay, it was very serious,
One down, one is down.
unacceptable situation.
All of the shots. All of the shots are down. Look at him.
But we can actually hear shot fired.
He's down. Look at him. See his life. These are the people that came to take over Baba Boss.
Okay,
They came to carry
okay,
Baba Boss.
quickly. I think this is one of the things that happened, and this was also aired one of the popular TV station in the country, Arise TV, and even Channel Television. Now let's talk about the petition. The petition is it's like they were expecting they were expecting something else, and Obi came out from different corner. In this,
Yes, I'm to the best of my knowledge, and I must say I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing so far. The maturity of our principal and in his wisdom, because they were actually expecting him to call for a protest so that they can actually accuse him of insurrection and all that. But in his wisdom, he asks us to be calm, to be calm, and we should be law abiding. And that is what we have done so far. And it's actually the right step to take. So whatever grievances you have, take it to the court. We've been asked to take our grievances to the court, and that's what we have just done.
But Chris, if this now court says otherwise and it doesn't favor Labour Party, do you foresee any form of protest?
Yes, definitely. We have to. That is after we have exhausted all options. So a protest is not a crime. A peaceful protest, to say, it's not a crime in that matter.
Yeah, so, Chris, we'll bring you back next time to talk about this. Because of time, we just have to call this a day here. And this is Prime Media. Like I told you, we on NJ Speak, and we always say the way it is. And we'll bring in different people here just to talk about the current issues in the country. Peter Obi and the PDP and Atiku, they filed their various petitions as at yesterday. So we are looking for the legal battle, and I'm very sure that
and let's not forget that even the United States, they are also involved in the whole situation now, because they have issued warning to all individuals involved in fomenting violence during the election, that they should be identified, that sanctions are going to be imposed on them. And they also warned the Nigerian authority that they should not interfere with the judiciary, and they should allow the judiciary to carry out their process.
So there is a light at the end of the tunnel. The will of the people will definitely prevail. That's what we want. Not the majority are meant to carry the day. So, okay, thank you, Christopher. It's been Prosper Michael, and this is Engine Speak. We'll catch you up next time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.